We are so thrilled to have you, our customers, here as we explore our product. At Descasio, we truly value the relationship we build with each and every one of our customers.
Building trust with experience.
There's a question for all of us. Is not God the present or future?
Okay, I'll say the future.
But I
It's the present. The world is ever improving. For now, we can say okay, this is what we have. But in the nearest future, something else can take over.
should we just forget about Roku and wait till we get to the future? Or should we start now and go into the future? Things are evolving. And as it's evolving, any organization that is not evolving, that is not innovating, is going to die. So we are simply saying, based on the little ability that you have and the little resources you have, adopt the level of innovation you can within your power and make sure you are moving with it.
Introducing Plug, a revolutionary no-code platform designed to simplify and automate complex tasks. With
First, I'll talk about our AI strategy. AI is not entirely new, as Africa said, his project was on neural networks. These things are not entirely new, but now they are becoming more mainstream. So if nothing is the solution is not leveraging the power of AI, it's falling short practically. They are building AI to the core of Plug.
My name is Oluwatosin, and we are so thrilled to have you, our customers, here as we explore our product. At Descasio, we truly value the relationship we build with each and every one of our customers. So I would like to have a sense of how long some of you have been a part of our journey. Could I say a show of hands if you've been doing business with Descasio for the past 10 years? Anybody? 10 years, wow, amazing. We have people who've been doing business with us for 9 years. 9 years, wow. How about 8 years? 8, wow. 7. 7, amazing. 6 years? 5 years? 4? Thank you. 3 years? Amazing. 2 years? Last year or early this year? Thank you so much. We truly and deeply appreciate every one of you for choosing Descasio and being a part of our journey. So today's agenda is packed with insightful session, interactive demo, and discussion that will provide you with a deeper understanding of why we are here, Plug, and how it can transform your business operation. So without further ado, we're going to be starting off with a short video that speaks to what Plug is, after which we'll have our first presentation.
Descasio, transforming businesses through technology. Trusted by leading businesses. Building trust with experience. Your complete digital transformation journey. Are you ready to empower your team? Automate workflows and drive innovation. Meet John, a dedicated financial analyst who spends countless hours sifting through piles of paperwork. His daily routine involves repetitive tasks that consume his time and energy, leaving him overwhelmed and exhausted by the end of the day. His tasks include data entry, report generation, and financial analysis, all of which require meticulous attention to detail. The manual process is not only time-consuming, but also prone to errors, affecting the overall efficiency of his work. But what if there was a better way? Introducing Plug, a revolutionary no-code platform designed to simplify and automate complex tasks. With Plug, John can easily create automated workflows without any programming knowledge, transforming his tedious tasks into streamlined processes. Create like a pro. Automate processes. Deploy, build rapidly. Save cost by paying in Naira and eliminate FX challenges. With Plug, John not only eliminates paperwork, but also completes tasks faster than ever before. Plug stands out by letting you purchase our products and services in Naira, eliminating the hassle of foreign currency transactions. Like what you see? Request a demo at plugonline.io.
So can someone just tell us in a nutshell what product we are discussing this morning and maybe what that product is? can do for you? Just in one sentence or in one word. Whatever works for you.
So my name is Paul. The program is Plug, and it's for automating repetitive tasks.
Thank you, Paul. He said we are talking about Plug this morning, and it's meant to automate tasks. Do we agree with him, or if you have a different opinion, please signify? Do you have a different opinion? Please. If you do, please signify. If you don't, say aye. Yes, we are voting. They just concluded the US election and we know someone won. So if you are all going to vote for Mr. Paul, if we all agree what he has said, can you please say aye? Aye. The ayes have it. Thank you. On that note, I'm going to be taking us into my very short presentation. The future of business with Plug. My name is Victor Olamide. I'm the GM Technology for this castle. And I happen to be someone that is so interested in automation. Automation, no code, low code, and the rest of them. Those days when we start computing, we started with, do we have computer scientists in the house? What are those codes we used to read back in school? Fortran, 77, COBOL. Please, give me those names. Basic, correct.
Pascal?
Correct, sir. Please give me those names. C. C is now getting to be more than somehow. Then C++, C sharp. Oh, our modern guys, please give us one. Python. So, I remember when I did my first project then in school. We used VB.NET and the rest of them. And a project that was supposed to be presented, we spent almost, just a school, not a standard school project, we spent almost 6 months. And 8 of us, we could not achieve it. Now, when we now talk of a modern day application, talk about the business processes, you can imagine how long it will take. So if I can develop maybe an hospital management system, those are the things we normally do back in the days, or a library management systems and the rest of them. And you spend almost 6 months a year to deliver such. If we are going to do an insurance specific application, how long do you think it will take us? So which means as we progress, things are getting better, the sophistication is increasing and the rest of them. The future of business, is it about Plug or about automation and about no code and low code? I'll move to my next slide. The future of business automation. I say here that no code development is rapidly gaining traction in the software industry and with good reasons. Is there anyone that has not heard about no code, low code in this room? Which means it's not new to us. It allows users to build software apps without having to learn how to code. Is it making people lazy? Those are the questions. Or is it making people much more productive? If I've spent 6 months building something and that same thing can be built spending maybe a day, wouldn't it make more sense for me to focus on other productive activities? And I've heard a lot of people talking about low code, no code, and how to achieve some of their automations, business process automations, digital transformation seamlessly. And one thing is common: we don't have time. When the business asks you that they want to see improvement in a particular unit, the improvement can be a strategy, it can be a tactical thing, it can be an operational thing, it can be within 6 months, a year, 2 years, 3 years, 5 years. One thing is certain: the time it will take us to build a solution or an application that will be likely used to kind of power the transformation we are trying to build, we take the jump of that time. And now, when we talk about low code, the same business can easily scale projects and reduce development costs with this approach to application development. So which means, how do we develop application today? We try to look at the requirements, we do requirement analysis, need analysis, requirement analysis, system analysis, then we think of implementation. Before implementation, based on the requirement and need analysis, we'll have decided that how many front end do we require, how many back end, do you need a UI UX, do you require a Q&A, then a project manager or a product person. After getting all this, then we sit down, we begin to build. And it takes a lot of time to do that. Then after building, you do a whole lot of quality assurance, test different scenarios. But this is saying, instead of you to take that route, just bring it to low-code platform, and you can achieve it within shortest possible time and without breaking down. I move to my next slide. I talk about sophistication. It's not getting difficult actually, but it's getting more interesting. Business automation is expected to become more sophisticated and important in the future. Why? We talk about Gen Zs, we talk about all these advanced technologies, AI, we talk about blockchain and the rest of them. Nobody really wants to sit down and be building boring stuff. Nobody wants to continue to do repetitive tasks. People want to do things in different ways and get different results, not to be doing things in the same way and be expecting different results. And what that simply means is, okay, I was reading something, I think like a day or two, where Google says all their code now, they use AI to, I think maybe 1/3 or 2/3 of everything they build in Google now is being kind of produced by AI. Are we supposed to be average as software developers or as IT engineers that one day maybe AI will replace us? No. As technology grows, we get better in adopting it and we make ourselves relevant. And that's what we're talking about. So nobody wants anyone to sit down and tell us that you are going to build a software or a process for 1 year when a local can do it for you in 5 days. And not even, because if we have to sit 5 people down inside a room, paying them for a whole year, you can imagine the cost. And when maybe an accountant can just sit and do the same thing that you want 5 people to build. That's the power of low code. Intelligent automation, like the business process automation systems, we use ML and AI to learn and adapt, rather than just following pre-programmed rules. So which means we are talking about a whole lot of intelligence, where systems can leverage whatever has been built in the past and give you the new output. Which means we don't need, we used to think that Gen Zs will need the millennials and Gen X and the rest of them, but AI is saying that they can just crawl their head, their brain, their storage, and give the Gen Zs whatever they require and still be able to give the right output. Integration with other technologies. BPA, that's business process automation, will be integrated with technologies like blockchain, IoT, and advanced analytics. It's already being done today. And we've seen some of these big boys doing it. So it's not new. If you've not done it in your enterprise, it's just because maybe you will either be left behind or you join the moving train. It's moving very fast, so we have to do something. AI power virtual assistants, we've seen it today. When you want to maybe, in fact, there's even an whole here that you can never talk to a human being. Everything you want to do, it has to be a virtual assistant. So there's a back-end kind of maybe knowledge base that you request your information from, and it will intelligently chat with you and even still ask you, what else can I do for you? After being able to respond to your queries. You've seen that happen. Everyone knows about generative AI today, so we don't have to flog that. Non-code integration. Non-technical users will be able to build customized business apps and automate workflow without coding. That's actually why we are here today. Yes, we are all into IT, but we may not necessarily be developers. We are saying non-developers should be able to do what an average developer will do. So you don't have to set up your development team to achieve your digitization going forward. You don't have to break the bank to achieve your digitization going forward. You don't have to employ a separate skill set to achieve it. All you just need is to conceptualize what you want to do. What do I want to achieve? I want to build this process. Let's say requisition. How does my organization work? My own requisition app, when I request, I have one supervisor that will sign. If you go to HR, HR will sign. If you go to finance, finance will accept or decline. Then the payment will be made. The moment I understand that, I can create it by myself, even as a finance person or as an HR person. I don't have to go to IT to be disturbing them. And that way, IT can focus more on process and other things. Instant collaboration. The automation innovations will make it easier for remote employees to collaborate with other team members. We might have been thinking, will this reduce collaboration? No. In as much as we are trying to digitize, automate, is making collaboration seamless. Yes. Yeah. Next. Thank you. The future of business with no code. One thing I would like to tell us is the future is not far from us. Local development and rapid adoption report. Most enterprise business would have adopted this for their critical business process by 2020. That's according to Forrester. Almost all of us will know something about Forresters. Forresters, they are independent reviewer of software, of OEMs and applications. And they are saying that by 2028, if you have not adopted local development rapid adoption as an enterprise, then you are on a long thing. Thank you. Faster development. That's what everybody wants. In fact, whenever there's a development initiative, there's always there's always this issue of time extension. You just hear that, oh, please give us 1 month or 2 weeks. For the developer that are in the house, maybe you set up a sprint, or you have a scrum and you have a period for your sprint and you want to achieve it within a week or 2. At the end of the day, you realize that the time is not enough. You go back to request for additional time. Then after doing that, you debug. From time to time, there's no perfect system. There's always a need for improvement and you tend to request for additional time. And when you request for additional time, what about time to market? If we as a company, even if we are not servicing external users, as an IT team, we are servicing internal users. Those are our customers. So if you promise that you are going to be live on 7th of November, and your developer decides to come back to you and say they need additional 2 weeks, how do you communicate that? You just say, oh, let's communicate that. In fact, I used to have a customer. As at the time you communicate like 4 or 5 times, changing goalposts during March, they will not expect the product from you anymore. You just say, okay, don't worry. When it's ready, just come and we don't communicate anything. Don't worry. We are tired of hearing it's going to be live. So if you don't want that to continue to happen to you, you need to begin to look in this direction. Increase productivity. No code can increase productivity by up to 1 to 3%. How have we been able to measure that? We are almost 15 years in the industry. Me, Descasio, since Descasio came into Binand, we've been partnered with top tier no code OEMs. And what we've seen is, aside from some of the challenges that organizations do face that we'll later talk about in this presentation, what is common is the productivity level that has increased. So the moment you take away, requirement gathering is standard, system analysis is standard, requirement analysis is standard. The moment you take away development time, which is always the junk or the bulk of the time that we take to produce a solution, you've actually reduced the whole time to market. More people involved. More code tools can help level the playing field, allowing more people to get involved with technology and software. So we are saying an accountant will be able to use it, HR will be able to use it, It doesn't matter what your role is, you'll be able to use this. We are not saying you should not have IT unit because of no code, because you will need other level of support. It's not only no code that IT unit will do for you. You have your end user support, and definitely you have other applications you are also using. So, more solutions from people who experience the problem. Yeah, I love this. One of the major kind of problem we've seen is the time it takes the problem owner to communicate to the problem solver. They will have lose some information. For instance, I come to Paul. I said, Paul, I want to. This water is not enough for me. I want a bigger water. And I now go through this lady. You did not hear what I said. I just said this water is for. I like this water, but it's just 50 cl. I want 100 cl. But that's not the way I communicated. I just say, I don't understand. I'm just tired. I'm always thirsty. Take your water. That's the standard way a customer will communicate. So after saying that now, you are thirsty. I should take my water. I don't even know what you want. She will just go to him and say, okay, I think he's still thirsty and he has returned this water. So she does not even know whether I want more water or not. By the time it will get to Paul, I can assure you he doesn't even know what the requirement is. By the time they say, okay, let's meet the user department, let's hear them, it will take a lot of time to achieve. But as the process owner, I know what my problem is, and I can solve it with no code. I don't need to go through them. The only thing I will likely need from them is the compliance, for them to help me to get the right no code solution that I will use, to get the skill, because they will be the first level of trainees for that solution, because they are IT. And anytime I need first level support, there is first set of people I will go to. But to solve the problem, I will have to solve it myself. And that's part of the benefits no code is bringing. More efficient workflow, no code automation tools can help business and do repetitive tasks and workflow more efficiently. Cost savings, we can't overflow that. We've been able to see that from what we've discussed, that by the time you're able to reduce the time of production or the time of development, definitely time is a bit maybe indirectly proportional to cost. According to a Gartner survey, no-code platform will be used in more than 65% of application development worldwide by 2024. Are you among these 65% they just mentioned? That's the question. If you are not, you are among the 35% that have not adopted it. So let's look at it from that. Let's go to the next slide. So why no code? We will not spend much time on this. 4 out of 5 businesses in US are using no code to develop their application. Let's come to Nigeria. If you've used any no code in the past, please, can you raise your hand? No code in the past. If you've used any, please signify. So 4 out of 5 businesses in US, if you are a kind of business that is looking at going international, then you might have been missing something out. Because this is part of what they will be expecting you to have achieved. When you're talking to partners in Europe, in US, and there's some innovative tools that you are not currently adopting, they will be like, how are you doing this process this way? How are you doing this process this way? And for organizations that are even maybe trying to get investors, angel investors, venture capitalists, and rest of them. If you are among some of those businesses that has not adopted this, then we are being left behind. Let me just go fast. 47% of developers lack access to tools required to build apps enough to meet deadlines. Yes, I love this. Those days when I said I was trying to build an application, the first thing is, could I ever afford to get a competent system to be able to build an application? Because those days we have to install a whole lot of dependencies on the systems. So maybe I will have to go to a computer lab to achieve it. An average system today is in millions. So to be a very good developer, you may need to be holding a system worth millions of naira. Let's not talk about the tools that are going to install that system. So how many developers do you want to have in-house to be able to actually have something like this? So for this survey to have said 47% of developers lack access to tools required, they are actually saying the truth, because no matter how cheap it is, it's still expensive when we look at today's economy. Limited pool of qualified software engineers. How many software engineers do we even have in our different organizations? That's a good question. They are so expensive to manage, to retain. It's one thing to manage them, it's one thing to retain them. After you retain them, it's another thing to even make them happy. At the next opportunity they go, they see a better offer, they leave you. And they may be at a critical level in your development. Imagine someone that you build a product around, decide to leave your organization, what happened? I'm not going to mention one of our customers. They have application and all their customers are using the application. And they ask for the source code, they could not get it when they are meant to do a major update. So they have to constitute a new set of developers. They now build from scratch. They now own it. They now did build to own. So look at the level of investment. Do we even know maybe here that at road, maybe they've even sat the CIO at the city. You mean you are, all these are millions of customers are using this application and you don't have the source code? How come? So some of these guys can just do and undo. No sign of decrease in the demand of digitized workflow. From time to time, we do have new things that we want to digitize. So there's no time you will say, I'm done digitizing. It will never happen in this world. There's always, so if you are creating a new unit that has never been created before, there's a way that unit will work with the existing unit. And that will lead to you designing something, maybe a paperwork or a workflow. So definitely, the need will increase. The cost and time required to build apps, we don't want to overflow this. Gartner forecasts that the ratio of citizen developers to professional developers will be 4:1 by 2023. This is 2024. So what that simply means is, if all of us in this room are non-developers, so they are saying wherever there are 5 people in the house, there is going to be 4 citizen developers and 1 professional. So, these are 5 people. I'm not going to choose. So these are 5 people. As of 2023, these 4 people, they are citizen developers. Who are citizen developers? They are people that can use local to build their application. They don't consulting software. They don't need a software developer for anything. They just come into a product and achieve their aim. So which means these skills will be scarce. If I can achieve my thing my way, why do I need a developer? I don't need a developer actually to achieve it. And that is real, because most of the organizations focus more on numbers. It's about what are you bringing to the table. Even if you say, yes, I'm IT, you are a call center, what value are you bringing? So the moment you're able to cut out some of these costs, the business will be happy with you. And that's the way we should be looking at it. So, even me, forget those that I've developed. I'm not a developer. I don't want to be again, because I have targets. And in target, even being a salesperson is even sweet. You agree with me, because you carry your target, you meet your number, you go to buy hammers to rest. A software developer can continue to have sleepless night, no issue. So as a salesperson, you enjoy your money. So I want to be that kind of a person. Let me sell, collect my commission, enjoy. And still be able to automate my basic and intermediate tasks. If it's a complex one, no issue. The business can give it out. But even this no code can get your complex flow right if you can conceptualize what you want to achieve. It simplifies the dev process and remove entry barrier for wannabe developers. If for some of us that have never been developers, we can be. You know, I can just say, hi, Paul. Sorry, what's your name, sir? Hi, Sheson. Do you know that I've automated all my processes? Oh, great. How do you do that? I'm not a developer. I'm a wannabe developer. I'm not a professional developer. I leverage a tool that has been provided to achieve such. Let's go to the next slide, please. Now, there's a question to all of us. Is no code the present or future? I think we should answer. If it's the future, just tell us it's the future, no issue. If it's the present, tell us. It's both. Please, let's hear your opinion. If it's both. He said it's both.
But it's needed now, and it's also just like what discovered, there will be no time that digitization of work will not exist. So you need it now, and you will still need it in future.
Don't leave me, don't leave me. That's the way the Gen Zs used to say. I love that. Do we have a contrary opinion?
Yeah, I'll say it's the future.
Okay.
Because we'll keep using it.
Okay.
Okay, my name is Paul Hobank.
I have to Paul now. Please go ahead.
I think it's the present because we don't know the future because this low code was there before. So I think it's the present. Future will always, by next 10 years, who knows, might even have something else, that we actually outsmart the present or what we have now. So for me, it's the present. Thank you.
Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
My name is Viola. I think I agree with the last speaker. The world is ever evolving. For now, we can say, okay, this is what we have. But in the nearest future, something else can take over. Thank you.
Okay, so I think it's the future, and the reason I'm saying this is that low code is not new right now. It's always been there. If you remember the very first time back then, you tried to do a website.
Correct.
It was purely HTML. All right. Then you started having a front page.
Correct.
And all of that, and then you now have some frameworks, maybe PHP and all those frameworks that you could just configure and use with low code actually.
Yeah.
All right, and
The WordPress, the Joomla.
yes,
Yeah.
all of those are low code stuff. And right now is entering into enterprise applications, Microsoft Power Automate and all of those things. And as long as AI is evolving, low code is going to even evolve into the future. So I think it's the future.
Correct.
But it doesn't also take away the role of the traditional developers as well, because they even have to build those
Correct.
blocks.
Correct. Thank you, sir. Two future, two present, one neutral.
Okay, I want to say that the no code, like the last speaker said, it's been there all the while. So for me, it's going to be the future, but then something else can also just take it out, and then we'll have something much better than no code. So because you started with low code, no code.
Yeah.
So from low code to a point of no code at all.
Correct.
So maybe at some point you just be talking to the computer and you'll be doing the things you want to do, and then we are getting to that point. So I was seeing a movie. These are Hidden Figures. How the first rocket, US launched the first rocket, and they were doing calculation by hand to actually get the exact figures, and we've moved past that level. So from low code, we're actually moving to a point where maybe your eye can communicate what you want. We'll get to that point where you just say, okay, please build this for me, and you don't be about code, it will be voice code. That's what I'm thinking. Yeah, thank you.
If I'm looking at that aspect, I'll just say,
So I think no code is the future, and to give an example is because I'm in concurrence with what he said. Media creation, right? There was the democratization of it, like it was made accessible to everyone. So that led to content creators like, which has become a very huge industry. So I believe no code is the future. Why? Because if especially powered by AI, it's going to lead to software creators. That will be people who create software more for the niche, private, and personal part of our lives, right? And that's going to become popular. So you begin to see software as a game, software as art, software to a very more personal part of our lives. So that can become a very big industry as well.
A round of applause for every one of us, please. Thank you. So my second to the last question, because as it seems, the future, the people that voted for future are more than the people that voted for present. Since we have 4 for the future, 2 for present, and 1 in time, should we just forget about no code and wait till we get to the future? Or should we start now and go into the future? Don't mind me. So, in a nutshell, we are simply saying, if, as at the time we were doing our first project, those ND days, as I was telling someone, I said, AI is not new now. I did neural network in my ND. What are you even working on now? But now, it's like there's nothing you can say if you do not add AI, you're on your own. So which means things are evolving. And as it's evolving, any organization that is not evolving, that is not innovating, is going to die. So we are simply saying, based on the little ability that you have and the little resources you have, adopt the level of innovation you can within your power and make sure you are moving with it so that one day they will not just bring someone and say, oh, hi CIO, I think this is a new CIO, so you either report to him or you go because we refuse to evolve. That's one. Then 2, I saw, maybe it's a movie, I'm not sure, very short movie, a chef. He normally puts, they like maybe using the hand to do a lot of things. He has tomatoes. So he normally uses his hand to slice tomatoes into 2. And sometimes, if he's carrying a bowl of tomatoes, he can spend 6 hours. We start in the morning, he says he wants to slice it himself. So there's these Gen Zs that join and intern, and the guy came with like what's the name of all these people in China? All these swordsmen, what's their name? Samurai. He came with a samurai sword and said, sir, I can't be doing this boring work. He carried the first tray, he put almost maybe 30 tomatoes, and he put another tray without pressure, and he put the samurai sword. Hey, you say, you got 30 at a slice? He said, oh, come and see, these chances have done something, come and see. So, if it's not giving room for improvement, or if it's not having an open mind to accept innovation, you will have been left behind. So, let's move to the next. Accelerate your digital journey with no-code automation and integration. To be able to move in the speed that is required, you need to do that. I know, even though I've left that, what has always been an issue is the FX. Because even though we are partnered with some OEMs, we realize that the moment you get to some level, you as an head of IT, you made a budget, and your budget, as at the time dollar was maybe 580, 168, you did a projection of 2, 3, 4, 5 years, and they approve your budget in Naira. And as of today, maybe dollar is 1,700. By the time you do the division, there's no way your budget will not have increased beyond what you projected. So do you now want to look like you don't know what you're doing? Part of what we are doing is, we've seen the plight of our customers, and we've come up with something that will not expose them to such FX risk. Is Nigeria, or let me say Africa for Africans, built by Africans. If you are sitting in Ghana, spend cedis. If you're sitting in Ghana, spend Naira. It doesn't have anything to do with them. Let's go to the next slide, please, as we run down. So how it works, I won't spend much time on this because the demo will speak to it. It's so simple, no. Go back, please. So, I want to remember, almost all of us here we know how to use PowerPoint. It's It's just like a PowerPoint. You want to insert figures, you want to insert shape. It's the same way. The only thing is it's more sophisticated than PowerPoint, because on PowerPoint, you can only do presentation. On this, you can build your workflow. So you have a UI, you can do drag and drop, you can do feature workflow, you can do fast secure publishing, you can do cross-platform. If you have saved your data wherever, it doesn't matter. We have ways of integrating into this. You can do some analysis, which means if your need is not to have high level of analysis, we have some level of analysis you can also do. Easy app maintenance. You can build a robust business application without writing a line of code. People just hate writing code. If you're in my shoes, say I. Thank you. Let's go to the next slide. So these are just common use cases. Employee leave management, customer onboarding, requisition, monitoring dashboard, agent onboarding, customer support, asset management. This is not exhaustive. So whatever is your area of need, tell us, we'll be able to support you. Let's go to the next one. Other use cases, as I've mentioned, if you're in financial, insurance, manufacturing, telecom, please add law. Thank you. Add legal to it, because we have customers in that field. Listen. What is next step? If I have my way, everybody will then grab their PC to even see what has been making out about. But yeah, let me even see. Is this that simple? Log on, do the demo, show us. Try and see if it's that difficult also. Do you have any question for me, please?
Yeah, so I was going to ask about the level of customization. Is it entirely no code, or is it also low code that allows you to customize, and to what extent?
Correct. So anyone you want, you can do without any code, and you can also do a low code depending on your requirements.
Your demo do not include the maritime, all like that, all like that.
Sorry, I didn't get it.
Maritime.
Okay, maritime. Yeah. Apologies, man, but we had it.
All like that.
All like that, so we had it.
My name is Damilola. My question, Damilola. I think my question is about integration purposes. Okay. So as a low code, I think I was going to wait till I see the demo as well. Yeah. But for integration purposes, because I think I've worked with no code applications before. I think with no code application, most of the time I work with templates. Yes. So but then now, if I have like particular needs from third parties that I want to integrate with my software that I've already built, how is that? And because I know most of the time it's always restricted and it doesn't really allow some development technologies to be able to work with that. So how is that?
That's correct. So although the demo may not show the integration, and it may not also speak to your specific use case, because we don't even know the third party you're talking about yet. But I'm sure that it will speak to the level of plugins that you support. And we will also like to hear your use case so that you can be able to treat it on your personal basis.
Without wasting time, put your hands together as I bring on board Mr. Jafar.
Hello. I hope, anyway, I know that I'm audible. Good morning. Is it still morning? I think it is. Yes. Great. We still have some 3 minutes before it's noon. So good morning, everybody. It's a pleasure to be here. And quite an interesting discussion we've had with Fikayo. I can remember back in the days when I started learning the HTML and CSS, and I built a couple of applications. And when I got my first real client to build for, the person wanted to build an e-commerce application and the budget was low. How much? I can't remember, maybe 200,000 for, it's been long anyways, 200,000 was just good money in 2013, right? And I was like, do I want to go and start bringing guys that will start munching code on top of the project that we had? So I just went CMS. We built the entire thing with WordPress. And you know what happened? Because the person is somebody that has developer friends in the US, so we went to the US, and that person checked, maybe inspected the code, and then checked, said, the guys tried, they built it with PHP. I said, oh yeah. Yeah, we built it. But for the OGs in the house, you know that WordPress is PHP, right? So that's why what I was saying is, the person could not tell the difference. This is a full e-commerce website, has everything you want to do with an e-commerce payments and everything, and it worked. So fast forward, we're talking about business processes here, so we do not take time. So quick check. We came from different industries. Anyone from finance here? Finance. Great. Insurance. Great. Logistics. No logistics.
There's maritime. I'm not like that.
Okay, we have. Okay, good. What else? Which other industry is represented here?
Legal.
Healthcare. Great. So there are tons of processes, automatable processes that we have in all of this organization. Let's pick insurance. Okay, we have insurance guys in the house. Let's pick insurance, for example. The insurance underwriting process. I'm not an insurance professional, so they're here to guide. So let's say somebody here wants to do an insurance. Is my screen up yet? Okay, let me drag this guy in here. So because we want this session to be hands-on and not just talk, that's why I would come in between my screen and here. So this is Blog. You can actually build, many apps as much as you want with Blog. I'm going to enlarge this a little bit so we can really see what's going on here. So let's create a new application and call this, what should we call this? Insurance. Okay, so other people who have access can know that this is a demo. And then we can write any description, take applications and review, and do risk evaluations, for example. So again, I'm going to, because this is a demo, I'm just going to pick any and any for these options. In your organization, of course, you have different categories, different departments, so you feel free to pick what you want to pick, but this is just a demo. So then you can make your apps customer facing, which means anybody without having to log in, without having your access can do this, or you want it to just be for employees within your organization, so you can pick. So let's say this is internal, we want this for people, and I can select who can see the app. So let's create an application. Now the very first thing that is important for you to create anything is understanding the flow. If you understand the flow, then you can build it with Blog. So Blog has two things: the workflow creator and a UI editor. The workflow is how you describe, it goes from here, then to here, then to here, then to here, right? While the UI is, on different screens. Maybe you want somebody to be able to see a form, see this, one information. That's where you get the UI. So those two things are all you need, and we'll do that here. Now, let's first agree on our flow for what we want to build, right? So please guide me right, or whatever I'm doing is speculations. I'm not an insurance. So good. Let's say I want to apply for, an insurance. I'm going to ask to fill certain details, A, B, C. Then maybe we want to define if I'm eligible or not. That's step 2. Then step 3, what else should we do? Okay, evaluate risk, right? So if we want to evaluate risk, maybe you have, don't worry, I have very good credit score. So maybe my credit score is in the bin, like -10. You want to know if this person is risky or not, right? And then let's say, okay, we want to issue the policy document. Good. I know maybe we'll have more and more, but for the purpose of this demo, so we don't have to do a lot of branching, let's restrict to this first. So now that we're here, I mentioned that you have your UI editor, which is what you see here. You can create different things right here. You also have your workflow editor where you can create the flow. Everything starts and ends. Now you are free to drag and drop anything you want here as basically about your process. So is this big enough, or do you want me to make this bigger? Is everybody comfortable with this size? So okay, let's do something like this. Good. So these are different nodes. We call this guy nodes, which you can pick depending on what you want to do. So we said we'll start with application, right? So that means we're going to show you a screen to whoever is applying to fill certain things. So let's pick a screen node and drag it right here. That's my first guy. So I have to configure this and rate it. So let's say this screen is the applicant screen. So submit information to be evaluated. Again, this is up to you. This is just random stuff. So then you're going to build a particular screen into this, which you can go and design what that screen is going to look like, right? So we are going to come to designing this screen later. So now you can connect these nodes by just clicking on this dot and just dragging it and dropping it here. That's it. It's connected. So then what else do we want to do? We said we wanted to check for eligibility. Let me do this again. Screen, eligibility, risk, evaluation, policy documents, right? So to check for eligibility, we can use different things you can use. So it depends on how do you want to define eligibility. Let's say, for example, you have certain insurance types that are available to certain locations. You understand? So maybe if you are not in Lagos, for example, you cannot do health. If you are not in, so if that is the case, so we can already have your data. Your organization probably has a data of Lagos, health and rivers, maritime. You have this data, so you can just connect to that data, right? And then you automatically define or determine eligibility on the basis of that. We have a node we call the data node, and the data node can do a lot of magic for you. So I'm going to drag the data node here, and let's assume that this data node is going to, of course, you have to configure and define what do you want this to do. So let's say this is eligibility. We can use this same node to do two things, by the way. We also want to save data. You also use the data node to save data. Remember, everything you are running, somebody applies, you want to go and save whatever details somewhere. So have what we call data sheet in blog. I will save your data, you can export it out when you want it. So let's say eligibility and data save right here. Again, you can add description as you want, and you can go ahead to add details, operations. So call them operations. You can add as many operations as possible. So one operation, for example, is okay, where do you want to pick from? You can pick from a datasheet within blog, which is like an Excel file. You can pick from Google Sheets. You can integrate to Google Sheets, but blog allows you to do that. So let's say you use Google Docs and Sheets, and you have your data that you can just integrate directly. External database and more. So let's just pick this. And let's say that we want to pick any of the data sheets you have here, right? I'm going to show you, just so we don't get distracted, let's leave data sheets. I'm going to show you data sheets and other features later. But let's keep it at where we're creating this. So let's say I want to use any of these data sheets that has been readily uploaded. Again, you can upload your own set of data. So then you can define, okay, do you want to insert something to that data sheet? Or do you want to retrieve data from it, right? So what we're trying to do is retrieve data about eligibility rule that has been described in that data sheet and then use it here. So, and this is it. Once you have been able to do that, you can have 3, 4. Again, you can design if you're a person that loves, nice look and feel. So we can have date of birth and more things. Just because of time, I'm going to leave this particular screen here and then help us complete the rest. So but this is showing you they can do different things. If it's a file upload, let me drag so that people don't say that it's not, the thing is not. So you can do file uploads here, right? So if you want somebody to upload certain files, you want them to do signature, you can drag signature, and I will show you a real live app where you have this signature and they can actually sign and you get that. So you can do and undo with your screen, you can design it as you want, anyhow. So you can even display, you can add input. It is very, very flexible. Now you can add multiple screens. Remember, in your typical application, it's not just one screen. This is just showing to the applicant. What about the underwriter? That person probably sees a different thing. This person wants to be able to enter the risk score, enter whatever. So there's one more thing I didn't show you. So you can create more screens here. You can edit the name of your screen. Let's call this guy application screen. Again, you can leave it since we're just doing a demo. You can add more screens, whether that's an app screen or a document screen. So if you want a document, I'm going to add both of them. Let's add one that is app screen and one that is a document screen. This probably can be used for our policy. So, so for this one that we're right on, I'm going to rename this. Okay, let's go to design. So some of the other things you can also have under your form listed here, aside file upload, is drop downs. So this case where we're talking about insurance type, right? So I want to give you an option of different insurance type that is available. You can add drop down options right here and say, okay, health insurance. What again do you want to have? Say you can add more and more as you want it. You want auto insurance. The insurance people, you know all the type of insurance in this world. So again, I'm going to leave this here just because of our time. So again, what I'm showing you here is your screen is up to you to define how you want to have it. Same thing for these other screens. So for this other screen for the underwriter, maybe I want to add some things like the score, yes, the risk score. So let's drag this and bring it here and say I want this person to be able to tell me what the risk score is as the underwriter. So you can name this risk score. Then I also want something else, a drop down now to approve or decline, right? Okay, that didn't drop. Drag it and then drop it. Okay, let me close this guy, sorry. Interesting. Okay. Let's make this an improve. We can multi-selecting. Okay, good. So I was not dragging inside of the frame. All right. So this is my decision as the underwriter. So let's say I want to decide whether this person can get the insurance or not. So let me name this our decision. Remember that for each of these things, you can name it what you want to be able to call them as a variable later. So you want to use it. So this is my decision. I can define the drop-down options and say that one is approved. This is one option. Okay, so we're getting somewhere, right? So this is decision engine. Then for my document screen, of course, you want to design your document and say, okay, this is the insurance, blah, 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 insurance policy. And here, remember I was telling you that because you want to use one same document for everybody. You don't want to come and do for Mr. Paul and do for Mr. So in some places you are using variables and not my name. If you put Jafar and Abi there, means everybody will get Jafar and Abi. And somebody must come every time to come and change Jafar to Paul to which will not work to Charles. So instead you just put at name. It means you're asking Plug to go and pick the name of that person and fill in that location automatically. So your document screen is also, can be designed as you want right here. You can add a heading text and say that, okay, this is, I don't know, whatever you want to call it, insurance. Okay, this should be capital letter since we're doing heading, right? Insurance policy doc, right? Again, here, you remember you have to connect your node. Where is this going next? Let's say I want this to go to this computation. I can connect it this way. Again, you can drag and drop this as you please. If you want to organize this very well to make it look nicer and flow better, it's up to you how you do it. So I have to configure each of this. I actually talked about configuring your mail nodes, right? So on this computation, you can add different functions. So comparison. Remember here, I wanted to compare and see if somebody is doing something or not. So if this is an if expression or an arithmetic expression, you can do different kinds of computation right here. I can use this for a decision. So when you select to use this for a decision, you determine what decision you want this to be. So again, you can add more and more for these things. So let's say this decision is approved, and so this is approved. Removing this for now. So let's use this guy. Okay, no saving this again, not very well. So one more thing you can do, let me take this away. Like I mentioned, you can add more and more depending on what computation really. So but for here, we're just trying to do comparison and say that, okay, this, let me name this comparison step as approved first. So I want to pick a certain variable. So let's say the initiator name, for example. Again, you can pick any of the variables. Variables are things that are used in the application, right? The name, the date of birth, the whatever. So if you want to make a decision on the basis of those things, you can do that from here and define, okay, what do you want this to be? Yes, no, or anything. So all of this is possible. Remember that I've selected here that I wanted to use this for a decision. So using it for a decision allows me to have two nodes. You know, ordinarily, one node comes in, one node goes out, right? But because it's a decision now, it can be yes, it can be no. I now have two nodes branching out that allows me to then add maybe a mail, an email for success. Say, okay, if it's not successful, or if the underwriter, again, let me extend my this thing a little bit. So if the underwriter is saying, oh, this is approved, then let them get a mail, right? And if they're saying it's also not approved, I also want to get another mail. And then I'm going to then configure the content of the mail to be different. Oh, congrats, this has been successful. You are now, oh, sorry, you know those rejection mails. So this is how basically you can run this. So of course, you have to do the configuration to define the content of the mail, like I showed us earlier, you know, so that you can exactly see this. When you click on action detail here, you can define who does the mail go to. You want to copy somebody, you want to add you know, the subject and the email body. So with this, you can actually run your insurance app. But just so we can see this live and direct, I've gone ahead to add this for you. You can see the branching out of the true or false. There's going to be, if this application successful, the mail is filled and the content. If you look at this now, if this is successful, I can tell this guy that congrats, you are eligible, you understand? And if it is not successful, let's look at the other node. If it's not successful, I can just say thank you for applying. Again, it doesn't have to be simple like this. Your mail can be more detailed. This is just to show us something right now. So again, the risk evaluation, the decision engine, when this person has evaluated the risk, is it yes or no? Is it approved or not? You can see, let's come right here. No, thank you. So when you click action details, you can see the details of this step. You can see the comparison operation, right? And approved is here. So this is it. We're going to run this and see how this works as our application now. I've branched this out well enough so we can see exactly what this is. Remember I told you this is a drag and drop interface. So if you don't want this to be wider than I want, you can drag it back, right? So it's just up to you. So good. And your UI screens, I've also updated your UI screen for you so that it is full with all the pages. The same things with drag and drop, right? But then this is now complete, so we can save time, email address, I can pick all of these things. Again, you can do this right here in Pro. The underwriter screen, we want the underwriter to just see these details that's already been submitted, right, from this person, and then be able to add the credit score and the risk score. So let's go and run this app. Okay, one more interesting thing is, you know that you can also want to call for insurance, for example, maybe to publish this app, so that all your everything we have set up here is going to save. And once you have published the app, we can go ahead to run this app now. So, okay, apply. Now, this is something you can send to your insurance applicants. Okay, I have something that's suggested for me here. And then my phone number can be filled, my email address can also be filled. Remember that we picked email specifically. If it was a general field, then it doesn't matter what you enter. But because it was picked email, you can see it's telling me that what I've entered is not a valid email. So this will help you reduce some nonsense inputs that will come from. Some of us are there with clients and you just say, ah, God. So I'm going to fill in the right email so it allows me to go. I'll be at Descasio, Rayo, and then you can fill in the insurance type. So let's assume, so what we have here is that insurance type health is eligible for this particular location. But if I pick rivers and I pick something else, it's probably not eligible because health is eligible for rivers according to what we have on that sheet. Coverage amount, I can pick 100,000. Again, this is up to you. Any additional information, I'm just going to say demo. They can upload files here. So I don't know. Let's upload this guy. So you can upload a bank statement. Again, all of this is just sample, right? Maybe you can upload a smaller file, and this signature also works. You can use this pad to do all of the nice signatures that you have. Some people have very crazy signatures here. So but you can do this signature if you want it on your documents, if your application requires that, right? And you can see that this is saved, and then you can go ahead to submit this. Now remember, in our process, two things are supposed to happen. One is we are going to already determine if this person is eligible, right? And this person is going to get a mail to that effect that you are eligible or you are not eligible. So let me go and check my email. So okay. Yeah, you can see congrats, you are eligible. That's because we picked the right. So we can also do something that is not eligible. It means you get the other email instead. Good. So we can move on. Remember, the next thing is that the underwriter, because I'm eligible now, the underwriter is supposed to get a mail that, oh, there's a new applicant. I set this to be myself for the sake of this demo, so we can do everything. And that's why you can see a separate mail that you have been assigned a demo insurance task. In the real case, you want to put somebody else's email, right? Maybe there's a department in charge of that, you're going to put them there. So, okay, let's go ahead to this app and then see the underwriter's screen. Now I'm underwriter now. I'm going to review what that person has submitted, and then I'm going to go ahead to add. Okay, I can see the credit score of this person, right? That we're calling from somebody else, 200. That's very bad, not me. So you can see the name of this person. So I can add my decision, I can add my score. This is just as I wanted. Then my birth certificate, I can see the birth certificate that this person uploaded. If I want to check it out, I can see it here. I can look at their email, their phone number, their email address, and some of these other things. Again, remember, if you want to go further and design, have a better UI, you can do it on the UI editor. This is just for us to see what we are saying. So maybe we can show us some nice interfaces later. So now I'm the underwriter. I say, oh, this guy, I'm not sure. I'll review all the documents. I don't think this guy should be given any consideration here. Let's say the risk score is 200, whatever my decision is. I say, oh, this guy, I want to approve or decline or flag for further review, whatever I do. So if I say I approve this guy, just so we can go to the last screen of policy. Remember, if it's declined, that person will not get the policy document, according to what we did. So we can go to the policy document. I'm going to approve this guy. And once the underwriter, who is a different person, has approved, then a mail is going to be sent to that person. But oh, congrats to you. You have then been approved. So let's go back here to email, and go to look at the policy document. Okay, what we have demonstrated here is, I think the internet is very strong towards the but it's here now. So you say congratulations, your insurance. Again, this is just a mail that I just drafted. You can draft a proper mail, right? And put here. So because it has been approved, I'm going to go ahead to get my policy document. So this is just a sample end-to-end. What I've built now is more or less like insurance application system right here now. And you can see my insurance system. You can see it's showing my name there. If it's somebody else's name, we can try it if you want. It will show their name. So it means our guy insurance does not want me to come and start typing everybody's name. Again, this is contents that we just put here. You can, your own document might be different. We have some things where the document is a different kind of thing. So this is it. As the insurer, the applicant, I can download this PDF, right, and keep my copy. I can submit this. So this is an end-to-end showing how I have applied. My application was reviewed, it was approved, and then I see that I have a premium of $10,000, and well, I don't know if somebody can send this to my bank account. I have done. So I can download this PDF, and that is it. Again, to come back to, you can see this is downloaded, and I can keep this with me anytime, anyhow. Place of competition. For some competitions that we've worked with in the past, their license is crazy. Imagine I'm opening an account, you've not even made profit on me, you're already paying for my license. So, Plug is going to cover all that. And Plug pricing model also makes a lot of sense because it's about how many processes you're automating, not about how many users you're having. So, no matter how many users you are envisaging from birthday, it will also be covered. So we can ask whatever use case, scenario-based questions that we want to ask, whether internal facing or external facing, we're able to respond. And if we need to give you special attention, we'll do that with you. Thank you very much. So that was a demo, and just a demo. You can do quite a lot of things. I have some guys on my team building a complex payroll solution with this, right? Trying to calculate all of those things. Some of us know about it. We've got things like managing requisitions, managing your leave processes, so I can go from department to department. Just think of anything that is repetitive, has to go from table to table, you have to pass paper to paper. You can just automate this because once you can define that, from A to B, what do we do in B? Do A, do B, do C, then go to this person, go to CEO, you can do that. You can do more things. This is just that. So, for example, some of the things you can do is, that I did some applications right now. Where is my, okay, I can see my mouse now. I was looking for my mouse. So if you go to analytics right here, you can actually see, these things that you applied for. You can, if you are admin, you're allowed to see everything that everybody has used. And you can even go into the details to see how long this process has taken, see what stage this is in. These are the things that I did earlier, right? You can see the stages. The first application was successful, the mail went to it, the risk evaluation happened, decision engine, the document screen, right? And because so if for any reason something is stalling, you can even send a reminder to this person that's supposed to do it. You can reassign them, and you can see the history if there are approvals that were done here. You can do things like integration. Say you want to integrate to your Google Sheet, integrate to some of the services you already use, right? So you can also do that on integrations and add new integrations. You can see different integrations that you can do right here. You can do more again. You can do dashboards. Dashboards helps you to visualize your data. You can just go with any. You can go basically with any of the these things you have. You have different things you can do. This is a sample dashboard that was created already. Again, you can create whatever you want. Plug has been designed with you in mind to allow you to be able to create, build what you can use in your own business process. So happy to take questions from us. There's a lot of things and more things that we're even working on and coming. My colleague Kende will be talking about some of AI integration opportunities that we're already bringing here. So we are with you and are ready to continue to make these things possible. This is a typical dashboard that somebody can use to just come and look at what is happening, in their organization at any point in time. So thank you very much, guys. I will be on standby for questions.
Casio, transforming businesses through technology. Trusted by leading businesses. Building trust with experience. Your complete digital transformation journey. Are you ready to empower your team? Automate workflows and drive innovation. Meet John, a dedicated financial analyst who spends countless hours sifting through piles of paperwork. His daily routine involves repetitive tasks that consume his time and energy, leaving him overwhelmed and exhausted by the end of the day. His tasks include data entry, report generation, and financial analysis, all of which require meticulous attention to detail. The manual process is not only time-consuming, but also prone to errors, affecting the overall efficiency of his work. But what if there was a better way? Introducing Plug, a revolutionary no-code platform designed to simplify and automate complex tasks. With Plug, John can easily create automated workflows without any programming knowledge, transforming his tedious tasks into streamlined processes. Create like a pro. Automate processes. Deploy, build rapidly. Save cost by paying in Naira and eliminate FX challenges. With Plug, John not only eliminates paperwork, but also completes tasks faster than ever before. Plug stands out by letting you purchase our products and services in Naira, eliminating the hassle of foreign currency transactions. Like what you see? Request a demo at plugonline.io.